So if you overload the body with enough dopamine and it's struggling to make dopamine on its own, gradually the brain picks up and learns how to produce that chemical, and then everything's either getting better or is okie dokie as it's reproducing that chemical. Therefore, you have no need to take that particular medication. But as you turn a corner and as you realize that you've been gaslit, to a huge extent, as in your whole world's been bent, your reality's been destroyed, you come to the realization that that was based off inaccurate information. Now, try as you may and try as you might to prove that, due to abuse when you were a kid, say you're not living like you should have been or supposed to be living, delayed adolescence, you shut down at a certain age, bipolar, borderline personality disorder, dissociative amnesia, borderline's disassociated, comes from being a psychopath, and technically dissociative identity disorder is a psychotic in and of itself, and that would technically be what a chameleon is, and what I've been touting for as past as many years, which means that Jordan, no brother, or Jared, I should say, my favorite television character, was in fact traumatized when he was young and possibly autistic. Not saying that I am, but that would certainly fit his bill. Now, that being said, here comes the other one. I do not get off on getting on here and doing this, but here's what you gotta understand. I refuse to get treated like shit or bullied. And I refuse to get put back in the position where I'm going to be bullied or I'm going to eat shit and learn to like the taste of it. If you threaten Selena, if you threaten somebody that I care about, we're going to have a problem. And my means may look meager at this current point in time, folks, but believe me when I say I'm very resourceful, extremely adaptable, and you will rule the fucking day you ever met me. If this carries on and continues, now you're being cocky, because you know that they're not going to come out and take, almighty, bloody, horrible vengeance on somebody that's simply just kind of being a goof on fucking social media and running his gums or her gums. And I invite you to keep going. You're not particularly bothering me. In fact, this is somewhat entertaining for the evening. And realistically, I shouldn't have put my stuff back where they got stolen the first time. But let me explain my reasoning behind that. Most of the time, people are not going to go back to the same spot twice, thinking the person's not that dumb as to put them back but a second time. So by me doing that, I thought I was being sneaky. Apparently not. And I know whose truck they're in the back of. And I know whose truck the initial sleeping bag ended up in the back of. And I helped this gentleman and he helped me, and no one is ahead of the other as we are fairly much in an even keel. I, however, am not in need of a dog. Nor do I want one, nor do I require any sort of subservient animal at my feet. So like I said, you know what, you're trying to be a big shot here. You're trying to put the onus on me by saying that I'm getting off on all this and, is this a way of life for me? No, it's not a way of life, man. Is it a way of life for you? Is it a way of life for you people? Is it a way of life for all concerned that you continue to get in my face on here, that some of you obviously don't have jobs or any other commitments during the day, and that you continue to be on here on a full-time basis, heckling me, trolling me, calling me influence peddler, protection wanting. I don't remember that part of it, but I guess what I'm trying to say is you seem to spend a lot more time on here than me. Okay, and yes, I do spend time on here for certainly for entertainment purposes, because it's kind of humorous, and certainly for the fact that I need to know what's going to be going on in my next daily life, as this has become a constant and consistent thing where something gets said or done on here, and then I have to deal with the consequences thereof the very next day. So no, Al, this isn't life for me, bro. In fact, this is the farthest thing from real life as possible. In fact, a lot of people on here are trying to escape from real life. One guy I know, his wife wants to divorce him. So naturally, his first inclination is to get on here and act like a mafia boss. In no small way, shape, or form. I mean, I'm after what I got what I wanted on here, essentially. And I told Joe this quite some time ago. And she heard it too. I got what I want. And that's all that I want. The problem with that is if I go forth and move forward with this court, there's going to be repercussions. It's going to be like Sunday Bloody Sunday, or somewhere close thereof. No one likes their fucking freedom being screwed with. And no one likes having their unlucky sentiment that their whole business is going to get trashed. I do that to them, they'll come do something to me. So I have to take all that into account before I proceed. You understand what I'm saying? That's not a small request. If they're as big as they say they are, or if this is just some way to scare me, when in actuality there's some two-bit fucking cigarette dealing punk, then I have to take that into consideration too. And maybe two guys got a fucking rusty heater hanging out in the basement from their dad's days as a PI or a fucking Princess Patricia's light whatever. But no, you know what, dude? I'm not like purposely trying to be a dick. That stuff was put back in the specific same spot that I had it in before because I didn't think anybody was going to be stupid enough to go back there. And I thought I could be sneaky and put it there, and no one would be the wiser because no one would think I would be dumb enough to take it back there. So I figured maybe I'd get lucky. But I'll tell you one thing right now, I love her. I don't like saying I love you a lot. It's more like the only real thing I can get from her that's tangible. Other than that, everything else either it goes to Joe, Lucas, or fucking Rusty. Or I don't even know who's on the list these days. Who's permissible for who to see, and then who's permissible for her not to see. Meanwhile, once again, I get the short end of the fucking stick. As I said before, she's not the cheating kind. At least so I've been told. And then there was Leslie that had been brought to us by Mr. Les in order to give her something else to fucking chew on. I told you, Joseph. I fucking told you. She's a pit bull. You understand what I'm saying? And pit bulls, if they have shitty owners, turn out to be shitty fucking butts. And that picture of her being a praying mantis is just a start. She's out of your league, Joe. And she will rip your fucking head right off the joints. Swear to Christ, she will. And just when you think you're in control of the situation, that's not how that's going to go. Joe, you ever think that maybe that you didn't dominate her? That she came to you willingly because she already knows all about you? You ever think that you actually crawled onto the Black Widow's web and you're gonna get fucking paralyzed with some venom and then you're gonna get eaten, Joseph? Oh yes, oh yes. And as for me, mind you, like I said, Al, this is not my life. This is not how I spend 99% of my days. I actually like learning shit, bro. You know, like learning things and using my brain and thinking and learning more things and doing learning exercises. All that shit. You know what I'm saying? Physics, astronomy. I like that kind of stuff. I like doing a little martial arts when I can, you know? I don't like this fucking petty anti back and forth masochistic masculine and this dick waving fucking measuring bullshit. No. I can do it though. And it may be time for me to move to Edmonton. You understand what I'm saying? It may exactly be that time. And once I get a hold of my sister and my brother-in-law and have it confirmed, yes, you are welcome to come to our house. Yes, you will be paying this much rent. And yes, we will house you. Then I will be like, sweet. I'll take a fucking swoop flight, be there by Wednesday, Bob's your uncle, away we go. So, like, again, Bob, I gotta, like, reiterate all this. I'm not on here trying to be a big shot, okay? But you gotta remember something. At certain points of the day and at certain points in time, a lot of times being a dickhead is something that certain people will just understand that. That's it, okay? Being a dickhead. Anything else, they refuse to grasp any of that shit, any and all of it. They just, the one thing that they can get in their head is that he just yelled at me, so I better do as he says, otherwise I'm gonna get fucking beat. So, I think we can all agree on that one thing at this particular point in time. That at certain points in time, we all get in that particular mood, and then that's it, right? So again, I'm not on here to be a big shot. I am the Godfather, and that is the way that will go. And if anybody wants to refute that, I invite you. We can discuss this in Thunderdome or whichever sort of non-combative like situation suits you, as I'm decent with both. But so far as everything else concerns, until that occurs, I am the Godfather. Now, if Selena is dating, Abba Wimmy or whatever his name is from my group of fucking homies back in Edmonton, that's all her choice. And I told her point blank, the door swings both ways. And this hasn't been dating, this has been talking, negotiation, and slightly terrorizing. So, whatever the case may be, darling, you want to date him? Go hard and go nuts and go crazy, oh baby. But as for everything else, rest assured, I got better things to do with my day than this. I've had pleasant conversations on here to the point where, you know what, hey, I don't mind being on here in the least. And then you'll notice that I'll pay more attention during the day. But if it's going to be back and forth, fuck you, you dumb cunt, you're going to do this, disrespect, you're not my parents, motherfucker. You are not my parents, you are not my aunt, my uncle, my mother, whatever. And I'll bare my teeth. And yes, I do have people watching my back, but see, I'll pay attention. The thing that you got to remember is that on here, we are hiding behind somebody, supposedly. The Russians over here, the Omerta over here, the this, the that over here, the red and the black over here. So you see what I'm saying now? Nobody's actually, stepping up, being front and center and going, hey, I'm a man and I'm going to grab my set of big balls over here. No. Everybody's doing their own thing and hiding behind whoever they choose. And every once in a while, a big shot will jump up and be all much, the Peter Pagan, the Peter Wing, and all this rest of this shit. And the sad fact of the matter is, but we're all hiding behind somebody else while this occurs. I'm so sick of this crap, I don't care anymore. So, as far as the good conversation, I like that shit, and I'll take part, sure. If this is going to deteriorate and turn into something else that has anything to do with this crap, I'll be a fucking dickhead too, don't you worry about it.